Welcome, my friend, to the Dopamine channel, where music and books, this is your brother Fod to me. Get your best cup of coffee, my friend, or your favorite drink, and let's enjoy. What is seduction? Seduction is a form of power, with the goal of control, either one person over another or one group over another. It involves quickly imposing one's will, often used by politicians and businesses to exert control over masses and communities. Today, most of my talk will be directed towards the male gender, but the principles discussed can be applied universally in different scenarios. We have 8 parts in total that form a complete process of seduction. The first part involves an indirect approach. I want something from you, to influence you, to move you in a certain direction for my benefit. However, if you sense that I am trying to influence you, you might become uncomfortable. No one likes feeling manipulated or controlled. Therefore, it's essential to be discreet, just like a lion that hides its intentions to capture its prey. How does it do that? It hides its intentions, conceals itself, and prepares the environment to draw the prey closer. This way, the prey feels safe and approaches without suspicion. The same concept applies when you try to seduce indirectly through your behavior. Otherwise, doubts will arise around you. If, for example, you show excessive interest from the beginning, it's likely to be met with suspicion and a sense of caution. Establish a neutral relationship from the start, and don't make the other person feel your intentions. Present yourself as a friend, not a lover. This applies to all fields. Don't give the impression that you're manipulating to gain something. In politics, for example, global ambition can be intimidating. But if you act naive and pose no threat, you'll make your competitors and enemies feel safe. This leaves ample room for maneuvering. Sending conflicting and mixed signals is another part of seduction. Seduction works like magic. Many people believe that the most potent weapon in the magician's bag is uniqueness, whether it's in physical appearance or in any field in general. However, magic built on these superficial qualities is vulnerable, as someone else who possesses similar traits can easily replace the magician. It also requires the constant physical presence of the magician to maintain control, making it difficult to sustain. True seduction, on the other hand, is not about uniqueness or beauty. It's simply a psychological game that allows the seducer to remain present in people's minds, even when physically absent. How does it work? It creates an aura of mystery and difficulty, making it challenging to comprehend and understand. Send conflicting signals. Exchange surprising and contradictory messages. Mixed. Be innocent and impactful simultaneously. Clever and mocking. Diabolical and shy, spontaneous and sad. All of these aspects simultaneously were what made Gandhi's influence on the masses so powerful. It wasn't just about showcasing his good side. If he had acted in such a way, people might have accused him of hypocrisy secretly. However, he balanced his simplicity. He confessed his intention to feel anger and desire for revenge. What? Exactly, that had a significant impact on the audience. Take, for example, the Mona Lisa painting. The idea of having contrasting elements in her smile is what gives her attraction. This duality always creates confusion, and confusion amazes and captivates. It surrounds you. This aura is the magnet that deceives people. The third part is to present yourself as a desirable person, the one who makes countries interested in the World Cup. Is it just because of the monetary prize it holds? Not really. Let me cut to something important about it: its social significance. Where does this social significance come from? From competition? Think about it. When you have 101 people competing for a single prize, the presence of competitors creates added value beside the prize itself. If I win, I've gained the prize's value, and the fact that I've triumphed over those 101 competitors is something. It makes me feel exceptional and increases the value of the prize. We are social creatures, and we are greatly influenced by people's tastes and desires. That's why it's important to present yourself as a desirable person intentionally, indicating instances that show you are desirable or even fabricate them. This increases competition for your attention and elevates your status. The fourth part is to create something people all crave: a void, emptiness, a sense of lacking. People carry these feelings within them, like an emptiness, water, and a sensation that something is missing. However, they bury these thoughts well and cover them up with sand. If you know how to dig and bring these underlying doubts to the surface, it becomes easy. Entice them, control them, make them feel how monotonous their lives are and how their friends offer less entertainment. Stir within them feelings of unhappiness that they attribute to circumstances or themselves. Here, the solution lies in you presenting yourself as the missing answer, someone who comes from the outside, representing change, diversity, and a break from routine. I watched a movie a while ago where the antagonist managed to control the protagonist by initially focusing on convincing her that her life was unbearably dull, creating a feeling of dissatisfaction and boredom. He enlarged the sense of monotony in her life, even though she hadn't perceived it that way initially. Gradually, she began to see him as the solution to her boredom. Similarly, politicians employ this principle on societies. If they want to push people toward revolution, for instance, to gain control over them, they create an atmosphere. The crucial thing is to make them feel resentful of their present and how great they were in the past, but times have changed. The fifth part is to create temptation, to read people as if they are messages walking on the ground in their attire, in their speech, and in their behavior. All of these are messages. And if you look closely, beneath the surface of these messages lie vulnerabilities, hidden. These parts are their weak points. If you utilize them, you can create a perfect temptation tailored precisely to what makes someone feel insecure about their appearance, their origin, their possessions, their strength, and their masculinity. It's about uncovering these points. Use them, focus on them, support them, praise them about these points, and you'll almost possess them. The sixth part is to keep them in a state of anticipation. We all know the story of Shahryar, who used to kill a new woman every day until Scheherazade came along and escaped that fate by telling him stories, intentionally not finishing them. Second day, she didn't finish, and third day neither. That's how she managed to gain control over the king through suspense and anticipation. People love mysteries, and this is a key to drawing them into your web. Act in a way that makes them wonder about the latest developments. Occasionally do something unexpected. This creates a sense of spontaneity, just like with the king. As long as you can keep them uncertain about what's happening, they won't be able to predict your next move. After that, they'll be under your control, and you'll be the one manipulating. However, be aware that if routine or predictability gets into the mix, the recipe will go bad. Those who used to consume it will either reject it or consume it without realizing its flavor. The seventh part is to isolate the victim, as there was once a wicked man who used to kidnap and sell children. How did he do it? He walked with skill through the midst of the towns, and the children would follow him, enchanted by the sound of his flute. They didn't even realize how far they had strayed from their parents, home, and routine. Once he was sure he had isolated them, and if they screamed, no one would hear them, he could easily snatch them. Isolating the victim is crucial in the process of seduction. For example, imagine a target's natural weight is 10 kilograms, but if you try to move it, you'll find it weighs 100 kilograms. Why is that? Because it's connected to safety nets and chains between them and their family, friends, and daily routine. All of these add weight and make it difficult for you. The important thing is to make them yearn for the chase. So, it's essential that you sever these chains. First, mentally distance the victim from their family, friends, and daily life. Indirectly persuade their friends that they are boring, satisfied, and that they practice oppression on them. Encourage them to rebel and revolt against them. Once the chains between them and their connections are broken, they become isolated and weak. Then it's easy for you to control them. The eighth part is merging pleasure with pain. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is to always act gently, fearing to upset the other party. So, you transform into a kind person who is also dull and boring. However, life is like an amusement park. Nobody likes to go to a park where all the games are safe and boring. The more dangerous the games are, the better they become, and the more pleasure they provide. That's why moments of pain, fear, and sadness are very important. You must take advantage of any event that causes them. Don't try to quickly resolve them, let the feeling of jealousy linger in the other party. Make them experience it and let them feel the pain. Even if there is no apparent reason for this tension, try to create it yourself so you can relieve it. Create problems to solve them. Liberation after pain has a very sweet taste and adds a lot. Besides, using this method prevents boredom. That's it. Goodbye.